Stand Tall, Episode 1, The Wrong Look, narrator Jay Thompson. The footsteps were already circling when the words left Deco's mouth. Say that again. The stranger's voice came back tight, higher than he probably wanted. I said what I said. Around them, the street was gathering itself, phones coming out of pockets, bodies drifting closer, forming that shape crowds make when they smell blood. The sound of traffic seemed to pull back, like the city itself was holding its breath. Deco's shoulders were square, his hands loose at his sides. That's how you knew it was serious. When his fists were clenched, he was just angry. When his hands were loose, he was ready. Deco. My voice sounded thin, like I was speaking through water. Deco, man, come on. He didn't look at me, neither did the stranger. They were locked in now, that terrible magnetic pull, when two people decide the next 60 seconds matter more than the next 60 years. The stranger shifted his weight. His right foot slid back half an inch. Someone in the crowd said, "Oh shit." Deco's jaw tightened, his breathing changed. I could feel my phone buzzing in my pocket, probably Leanne, probably asking where we were. We were supposed to meet her 10 minutes ago. "Last chance," Deco said. His voice was quiet now. That was worse than shouting. The stranger's hands came up, not quite fists, not quite open. "I ain't backing down from you." The space between them was maybe 6 feet. It felt like 6 inches. Then Mr. Reed's voice cut through before anyone moved. As 2 hours before that, we were laughing. The Riverside Youth Center sits between the estate and the canal, a converted warehouse with big windows that let the light flood in. Inside, it smells like fresh paint and the industrial coffee machine Mr. Reed refuses to replace. Outside, it's all concrete and graffiti and the constant hum of the motorway overhead. Deco pushed through the double doors first, still grinning from something Marcus had said in the session. I followed, checking my phone, 4:30, golden light slanting across the courtyard. "I'm just saying," Deco was saying, "if someone steps to me, I'm not doing all that breathing nonsense." "It's not nonsense," I said. "It's literally what we just spent an hour practicing." "Yeah, and it's nonsense." He was smiling though. 5-second pause, count to 10, visualize the consequences. "Bruv, if someone's in my face, I'm not visualizing nothing." Mr. Reed appeared outside the doorway behind us, keys jangling. He's 50-something, gray creeping into his beard with the kind of calm that makes you think he's seen everything twice. "Remember," he called after us, "pride is expensive." Deco threw up a hand without turning around. Yeah, we know." "Do you, though?" But Mr. Reed was smiling too. He locked the door, headed for his car. We walked toward the bus stop, still laughing, still loose. The session had been about de-escalation, role-playing scenarios, how to read a situation before it reads you, how to take the bait out of someone's mouth before they can swallow it. We just spent 60 minutes learning exactly how to avoid what was about to happen. The irony wasn't lost on me later. Deco was talking about football, about the match on Saturday, about whether Marcus was going to finally ask out that girl from the college. Normal talk. The kind of conversation that makes you forget for a minute that you have to think about how you walk down your own street. A car door clicked shut behind us. Our laughter faded into the sound of traffic and distant sirens and someone's music thumping from a flat above the chicken shop. Just another afternoon, just another walk home. He came from the opposite direction, walking fast, head down, hood up despite the warmth. I clocked him first. You always clock people, it's automatic. You measure distance, trajectory, intent. You do the maths before your brain even tells you you're doing it. He looked up as he got close. That's when it happened. The look, not a glance, not an accident. A look, eyes locking on Deco, traveling up and down, landing back on his face with something in them. Something that said, "I see you, I'm not impressed. What are you going to do about it?" Deco's whole body changed, shoulders squared, jaw tight. His stride didn't break, but it shifted, got heavier, more deliberate. Yo, Deco's voice loud enough to carry. You got a problem? The stranger stopped walking, turned fully around. My heart rate kicked up, not panic, not yet, just that familiar spike, that chemical flood that says, pay attention, this matters, this could go wrong. I pulled out my phone, typed fast under the conversation. Running late, might be a bit. Sent it to Leanne without looking at the screen. I said, you got a problem? Deco was louder now, closing the distance. The stranger's hands came out of his pockets. What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about, the way you just looked at me. I didn't look at you any type of way. Yeah, you did. Around us, the street was starting to notice. A woman with shopping bags glanced over, kept walking faster. Two younger boys stopped on the corner, watching someone across the road pulled out their phone. The city noise was fading. Not actually fading, but my brain was doing that thing where it turns down everything except the threat. Tunnel vision, heartbeat, rhythm, underneath everything else. The stranger stepped closer. If I had a problem, you'd know. I'm right here. Tell me now. They were 10 feet apart, then 8, then 6. I moved without thinking, putting myself at an angle where I could reach Deco's arm if I needed to. Deco, man, come on, we're late. He didn't look at me, neither did the stranger. The stranger was young, younger than us maybe, 16, 17, skinny under the oversized jacket. His voice kept cracking when he tried to sound hard. He was scared. I could see it in the way he kept shifting his weight, the way his eyes darted to the growing crowd, the way his hands kept flexing. He was scared, and that made him more dangerous, not less, because sometimes scared people don't back down. Scared people double down. Scared people prove something. You think you're somebody, the stranger said. His voice was shaking now, but not with fear, with adrenaline, with the same thing pumping through Deco, walking around here like you own it. I don't think nothing. I'm just asking why you looked at me like that. I can look where I want. Not at me like that, you can't? More phones coming out. I could see them in my peripheral vision, little rectangles of light, recording, waiting for the moment, waiting for the clip they could share, waiting for the story they could tell. My voiceover kicked in then, that internal narrator that sounds like me but calmer, more distant. This is how it starts. This is always how it starts. Two boys who don't want to back down. 20 seconds from now, someone swings. 40 seconds, someone's bleeding. 2 minutes, sirens. Tomorrow, one of us is a story. The stranger's friend appeared from somewhere, grabbed his arm. Nah, leave it, man. Let's go. But the stranger shook him off. Nah, I'm not leaving nothing. Because that's the trap. That's the thing they don't tell you about respect. It's not about what you feel. It's about what everyone else sees. And once everyone's watching, once the phones are out, once the story's being written, you can't just walk away. Walking away becomes losing. Losing becomes a reputation. A reputation becomes who you are, unless you're strong enough to not care. Most of us aren't that strong. Then Mr. Reid was there, walking fast, raiding the danger in the air like weather. He didn't run, didn't shout, just moved with purpose, his face set in that expression that meant he'd seen this before, knew exactly where it led, and wasn't having it. Not today. Not these boys. Mr. Reid didn't say anything to Deco. He walked straight past him, straight to the stranger, and put himself in the space between them. Physical, deliberate, a wall made of a 50-year-old man who'd probably broken up 1,000 of these. Your mum's waiting for you at the shop. Mr. Reid's voice was calm, matter of fact. She sent me to find you. The stranger blinked. What? Your mum? At the shop? She's waiting. It wasn't true. Couldn't be true. Mr. Reid didn't know this boy, didn't know his mum, probably didn't even know which shop he meant, but it didn't matter. What mattered was the exit, the door, the way out that didn't look like backing down. The stranger hesitated. You could see him doing the maths, could see him weighing the options. Fight this older man in front of everyone, or take the excuse, take the exit, live to maintain his reputation another day. His friend pulled his arm again. Come on, man, your mum's probably vexed already. The stranger looked at Deco one more time. Not a challenge, not quite, just a look that said, "This isn't finished." Then he turned and walked away. The crowd made a sound. Disappointment, deflation. The show was over before it started. No blood, no clip, no story. They dispersed slowly, reluctantly, drifting back to their own lives. Deco stood there, breathing hard, his whole body still coiled. Then he turned on Mr. Reed. "Why'd you do that?" Mr. Reed looked at him steadily. "Do what?" "You know what? You embarrassed me. I stopped you from doing something you'd regret. You don't know what I was going to do." "Yes, I do. I've seen it 1,000 times." Deco's jaw worked. His hands were fists now. Everyone's going to say I backed down. No one's going to say anything. Nothing happened. Exactly. Deco's voice cracked. Nothing happened because you stepped in like I'm some kid. Mr. Reed didn't respond to that, just stood there, patient, waiting for the adrenaline to drain, waiting for Deco to hear himself. But Deco didn't wait. He turned and walked off, fast, angry, his whole body radiating humiliation. I looked at Mr. Reed. He nodded once. "Go with him." I went, and I caught up with Deco at the corner. He didn't slow down, didn't acknowledge me, just kept walking with that tight, furious energy that had nowhere to go. Marcus appeared from somewhere, clocked the mood immediately, didn't ask questions, just fell into step beside us. We walked in silence for 10 minutes, past the estate, past the chicken shop, past the bus stop where we'd been heading before everything went sideways. We ended up at the canal. Not the center, not home, the canal. That in-between place where the city pretends to be peaceful, where the water reflects the sky, and you can almost forget the concrete pressing in on all sides. Deco stood at the edge, staring at the water, his chest still heaving. "Everyone's going to say I backed down," he said finally. I leaned against the railing. "No one's going to say anything. There's no clip. Nothing happened." "Exactly." He turned to look at me, and his eyes were bright, not with tears, with rage. "Nothing happened because Reed stepped in like I'm some kid who can't handle himself. You were about to fight someone over a look. So maybe he deserved it. Maybe you both would have deserved what came after." Marcus, who'd been quiet this whole time, spoke up. His voice was soft, almost casual. "Better than something happening because of you, putting some kid in a box." There was silence that landed. Deco turned back to the water. His shoulders dropped half an inch. We stood there, the three of us, watching the light change on the water, watching the city move around us, indifferent to our small dramas, our tiny wars over respect and reputation and looks that probably didn't mean anything anyway. A train rumbled past on the bridge overhead. The sound swallowed everything for 30 seconds. When it faded, Deco's voice was quieter. I wasn't going to hit him. Neither Marcus nor I responded to that. "I wasn't," Deco said again, but he didn't sound sure anymore. Leanne found us 20 minutes later. She didn't ask what happened, didn't need to. She'd probably pieced it together from my text, from the time, from the fact that we were at the canal instead of meeting her like we'd planned. She walked up, stood next to Marcus, pulled out her phone. "You need to see something," she said. She didn't wait for permission, just turned the screen toward us and pressed play. The video was shaky, filmed on someone's phone. Different estate, different boys, but the same energy, the same setup. Two boys facing off, a crowd forming, phones out, the same dance we'd almost done an hour ago. Words exchanged, pushing, shoving. Then one of them pulled something from his waistband, a blade, small, catching the light. The other boy ran, slipped. The sound his head made hitting the concrete came through the phone's tiny speaker like a crack of thunder. The video kept rolling, people screaming, someone yelling to call an ambulance, the boy on the ground not moving, blood pooling dark under his head. The video ended. Leanne scrolled down to the comments, hundreds of them, laughing emojis, flame emojis. He got what he deserved. That's what happens when you run. Should have stood his ground. She scrolled further, found a news article, clicked it. The boy's face stared out from the screen. 16 years old, brain damage, wheelchair now, might never walk again, might never talk properly again, might never be who he was before that moment, before that look, before that decision to prove something. The comments under the news article were different. Sad faces, prayers, so tragic. Just a kid. But under the original video, the one that had gone viral, the one everyone had shared, he lost, took the L, shouldn't have run. Leanne locked her phone, looked at Dika. The look wasn't worth it there either. She didn't explain, didn't lecture, didn't wait for a response. She just left. We stood there, the three of us, and Diko pulled out his own phone, found the video. It had 2 million views. He watched it again, then again. The sound of the boy's head hitting concrete, the sound of a life changing, the sound of a look that cost everything. Diko didn't apologize, didn't say Mr. Reed was right, didn't have some big revelation or moment of clarity. He just got quieter. He put his phone away, picked up a stone from the canal path, threw it into the water, watched the ripples spread out, concentric circles getting wider and wider until they disappeared into the general movement of the current. You think that boy thinks about his look anymore? Diko's voice was flat. I didn't answer right away. Watched the water where the stone had disappeared. Probably thinks about walking, I said finally. Diko threw another stone. This one skipped twice before sinking. The light was changing, late afternoon sliding into early evening. The canal path was getting busier, people heading home from work, joggers, a woman with a dog, normal life continuing indifferent. A train passed overhead again, different line this time, different sound. When it faded, Diko pushed off from the railing. I'm going home. He didn't wait for us to respond, didn't ask if we were coming, just started walking, hands in his pockets, head down. Marcus looked at me. I shrugged. We let him go. Marcus left a few minutes later, had to get home for dinner. His mum was strict about that. I stayed, pulled out my phone, texted my mum, going to be a bit late, everything's fine. She responded immediately. How late? Hour maybe. Okay, be safe. Always, I sat down on the bench that faced the water, the same bench where someone had carved "Jermaine was here 2019" into the wood. I wondered if Jermaine still came here, wondered if he was still here at all, or if he'd moved away, or if he'd become a story too. The voiceover came then, that internal narrator, but calmer now, more philosophical. Mr. Reed says, respect is a mirror. You see what you bring to it. Diko brought fear. The other boy brought fear. Fear saw fear and called it disrespect. I watched the still water, completely unconcerned with human drama. The thing no one tells you about pride. It can't feel anything. It can't hurt. It can't cry. It can't learn, but you can. When you choose pride, you choose to stop being human for a minute. Sometimes a minute is all it takes. The wheelchair boy's face was stuck in my head. 16 years old, younger than me, his whole life reduced to a moment, a look, a decision, a slip. How many times had I walked past that exact scenario? How many times had I been in it? How many times had I been Diko, or the stranger, or the boy who ran? How many times had I been lucky? The water kept moving, the city kept humming. A plane drew a white line across the sky. Normal life, continuing, indifferent. I sat there until the lights started to fade properly, until the streetlights flickered on, until my phone buzzed again with my mum asking if I was on my way. Then I got up and walked home. The walk home took me past the spot where it had almost happened. The street looked different now. Evening light, different people. The chicken shop was busy, music thumping from inside. A group of girls walked past, laughing about something on someone's phone. No sign of the earlier tension. No evidence that two boys had almost destroyed their lives over a look. The city had moved on. Then I saw him. The stranger standing outside the off-license with 3 friends, talking, laughing, normal. He saw me at the same moment. We both stopped walking. His friends noticed, went quiet, looked between us. For a long moment, neither of us moved, and I could feel my heart rate pick up again, that familiar spike, that chemical flood. But I didn't look away, didn't cross the street, didn't speed up or slow down, just kept walking, steady, calm. He watched me approach. His body language shifted, got more alert, but not aggressive, just aware. We passed within 6 feet of each other. Eye contact, brief, neutral. Neither of us looked away. Neither of us escalated. One of his friends said something I didn't catch. They laughed, kept walking. I kept walking too. No words, no challenge, no resolution. Just two boys who both survived the day. I didn't look back, didn't need to, could feel him not looking back either. The moment passed, the city kept moving. Mum was in the kitchen when I got home, radio on, something simmering on the stove that smelled like home, like safety, like a world where looks don't matter and pride doesn't cost anything. How was your day? She didn't look up from chopping vegetables. It was normal. She stopped chopping, looked at me, really looked at me. Mums have a way of seeing through normal, of reading the spaces between words, of knowing when something happened, even if you don't say it. Normal's good, she said finally. Normal means you're here. I dropped my bag by the door, washed my hands at the sink. Yeah. She went back to chopping. I sat at the table. The radio played something old, something she liked, something that made her hum along. We didn't talk about it, didn't need to. She knew something had happened. I knew she knew. But I was home, I was safe, I was here. That was enough. We ate dinner with the TV on, some quiz show she liked. We shouted answers at the screen, got most of them wrong, laughed about it. Normal. The kind of normal that feels like a gift when you know how easily it could have been different. I couldn't sleep. Lay in bed, phone on my chest, staring at the ceiling. The streetlight outside my window threw shadows across the room. Cars passed occasionally, distant sirens, the city's nighttime soundtrack. My phone lit up. Deco. You awake? I stared at the message for a moment before responding. Yeah. The typing bubbles appeared, disappeared, appeared again, disappeared. This happened 3 times. Whatever he was trying to say, he was struggling with it. Finally, thanks for having my back today. I didn't reply immediately. Let that sit. Let him sit with having said it. Then, always, another long pause. I could picture him on the other end, lying in his own bed, staring at his own ceiling, replaying the day. Reed talk to you after? Not yet. He will. No emojis, no jokes, no deflection. Just honesty, raw, uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say to that, so I didn't say anything. The typing bubbles appeared again, disappeared, didn't come back. I waited 5 minutes, 10, nothing. I put my phone on the nightstand, rolled over, closed my eyes. Sleep didn't come for a long time. I got to the center at 9:30. Deco was already there. That stopped me in the doorway. Deco was never early. Deco was usually late. Deco treated the center like something he had to do, not something he wanted to do. But there he was, sitting in the main room, hands clasped between his knees, staring at nothing. Mr. Reed was making tea in the kitchen. The industrial coffee machine hissed and gurgled, the smell of toast, morning light flooding through the big windows. He saw me, nodded, didn't say anything about yesterday, didn't acknowledge the elephant sitting in the middle of the room. Just made tea, 3 mugs, brought them over. Good morning, glad you're here. He handed us the mugs, sat down across from us. That was it. No lecture, no debrief, no let's talk about what happened. Just, good morning, glad you're here. Deco took his tea, wrapped both hands around the mug like he was cold, even though it was warm in the center. Mr. Reed pulled out the session schedule, ran his finger down the list. Today we're working on exits. Deco's eyes flicked to me. I almost smiled. We both knew exactly why. Mr. Reed didn't elaborate, didn't explain, just exits, how to leave a situation before it becomes a situation, how to create doors where there aren't any, how to give someone else an exit so you both survive. He looked at us over his mug. Sound good? Deco nodded slowly. Yeah, I said, sounds good. The center filled up over the next hour. Marcus arrived, gave Deco a complicated handshake, didn't mention yesterday. Leanne came in with an armful of books set up at her usual table. Other young people I recognized, some I didn't. All of them here for the same reason. to learn how to survive, to learn how to be human in a world that sometimes makes that difficult, to learn the answers before the test kills someone. Mr. Reed called us into a circle, 12 of us, sitting on mismatched chairs in the main room, morning light streaming through the windows, the sound of traffic outside, the city continuing indifferent. Let's start with a scenario, Mr. Reed said. You're walking home. Someone gives you a look. What do you do? The voiceover came then, but different this time. Not reflective, not philosophical, forward-looking. Mr. Reed says every boy gets tested on the street. The test isn't can you fight, it's can you walk away and still sleep at night? Can you choose yourself over your reputation? Most boys fail that test because no one taught them it was coming. Around the circle, people started talking, sharing stories, sharing strategies, sharing the weight of living in a world where a look can cost everything. Deco was quiet at first, then he spoke. What if walking away makes it worse? What if they come back? Mr. Reed nodded. Good question. Let's work through it. We're learning the answers before the test kills someone. That's the whole point of this place. That's why I keep coming back. The conversation continued, voices overlapping, questions, challenges, real talk about real situations, no easy answers, no simple solutions, just the hard work of learning how to be soft in a hard world, how to be strong enough to walk away, how to survive. I looked around the circle, at Deco, still processing yesterday, at Marcus, listening intently, at Leanne, taking notes like she always did, at the others, all of them carrying their own stories, their own close calls, their own moments when they chose life over pride. Or didn't, or almost didn't. The work wasn't finished. It would never be finished. Every day was a new test. Every walk home was a new scenario. Every look was a new choice. But we were here, learning together. That had to count for something, and that's why I keep coming back. The conversation continued. The morning light shifted. Someone laughed at something Marcus said. Mr. Reed refilled his tea. Normal. The kind of normal that's built on hard work and harder choices. The kind of normal that's a gift, not a given. The kind of normal worth fighting for. Not with fists, with presence, with learning, with showing up. The image held the circle, the faces, the attention, the work. Then it faded, not to silence, not to resolution, to the sound of the street outside, traffic, voices, life continuing, the work continuing, always continuing. End of episode 1.